Welcome back, True Seeker. Sunday Night Football, December 29th, 2024, the night that Jimmy Carter's death is announced. Of course, he was from Georgia, and he was the 39th president of the United States. Again, he's died 39 days after Joe Biden's November 20th birthday. And what's interesting is at halftime, his hometown Atlanta Falcons are leading the nation's capital 17-7 in week 17. And his full name, Jimmy Carter, James Earl Carter Jr., equates to 177, just like the Jesuit order equates to 177, like New World Order equates to 177. Again, special number. But keep in mind, it's week 17 of the NFL season where they play for the Lombardi Trophy, named after the Jesuit Vince Lombardi. But also, American football is credited to the Freemason Walter Camp. And in Gematria, Mason equals 17, and the Mason symbol's the capital G, which is the seventh letter of the alphabet. 17 is also the seventh prime number. So yeah, what a score at halftime for week 17 after the death of the 39th president. Remember, SNF equals 39. Sunday Night Football, that's what they call this game. We've always called it the 39 game of the week. But yeah, perfectly synced up with the death of the 39th president. Again, 39 days after Joe Biden's birthday. And his team up 17-7 at the half. Again, before he died, I thought there was a little narrative for the Falcons to upset because Dan Quinn can get his 48th loss and Atlanta's 48. But with Jimmy Carter's death, I said it looks more like the Commanders are going to win because, remember, Jimmy Carter equals 54 and 72. And if Dan Quinn wins, he gets his 54th win, and the Commanders become 7-2 at home for the season. Home teams would also be 7-2 for Sunday, the day that Jimmy Carter's announced dead. So we'll see if the Commanders have a second half comeback in them. And, you know, if the Atlanta does go down and the Commanders come back, it's also noteworthy that Atlanta would fall to 8-8 because that's the big Trump number. Trump overcame the legal problems in Atlanta. And Jimmy Carter had to do with the giving away of the Panama Canal back in 77 when he became president. Donald Trump wants to take it back 47 years later. Dan Quinn is on 47 losses right now, so... Yeah, as I said earlier, I was thinking Commanders would take this. It changed my initial thoughts before Jimmy Carter's death. I'm going to be annoyed if Atlanta wins. I'm like, okay, it made sense for them to upset before he died, but we'll see. That's why it can be a little bit difficult sometimes. But no doubt this halftime score, 17-7, an absolute tribute to James Earl Carter Jr., a.k.a. Jimmy. And just running over the box scores at halftime. Again, for people who don't follow football, you have a storyline here because Jaden Daniels was the second quarterback selected in the draft, and he's been the talk of the year, performing better than Caleb Williams, the top pick, who was the Heisman winner. Jaden Daniels beat Caleb Williams this year on a Hail Mary. Can't get more Catholic than that. But Penix was one of the top quarterbacks in the draft. Remember, Penix lost in the college championship. It was obviously through the game. If you ever watched him play, he never played such a trash game in his entire college career until the rigged championship, which we were all over. For people who missed that, he represented Seattle, the other Washington team, in the 206 area code. And, of course, they faced Michigan while the school was 206 years old. Michigan kept Saban on 206 all-time wins, knocking him out that year. Unless you look at his vacated, he has 5 vacated wins, so Saban finishes his college career with technically 201 wins. Say no more. Here we are on 1229, where 1,229 is the 201st prime. Remember, the Jesuit order equals 177 forwards, 201 in reverse. But, yeah, you look it up. Saban had 206 wins, 5 vacated, so 201 officially. But so many 206s last year in the college championship. Again, couldn't have scripted any better. In Michigan's 206th season, or 206th year of existence, they play the 206 area code. Just like when Russell Wilson won his only rigged championship, he had 206 yards in the box score. And keep in mind, Dan Quinn, who coaches Washington now, used to be the coach of Atlanta, and before that, he was an assistant coach in Seattle. So how all these little storylines and scripts come together. But yeah, no doubt this halftime tribute's for Jimmy. So I guess that's still the narrative, that there's that little narrative for the 48th loss and Jimmy's team winning on the day he dies. But I'll tell you what, Jimmy's died 54 days after the election. And again, Dan Quinn looking for a second half comeback to get that 54th career win. So we'll see what they got for us in store. But try out the Gematria. Try out James Earl Carter Jr. You'll see the 177. Till next time.